This is the problem with Democrats, real quick. Let's just... Do you have these text messages on you right now? Can I see them? Can I read them? Oh my god, okay. What you said really f***ing pissed me off, and it was sexist, and it gives into the f***ed up patriarchy we live in. That made me realize our personalities are too different, and this isn't going to work. It was fun going on dates, but I need to end this. Our personalities are too different. Goodbye.
So I want you all to take a listen to this clip of this guy who had the courage and humility to share in a room full of strangers one of the most bizarre stories you'll hear all year long about how his girlfriend apparently broke up with him via text message after he successfully predicted that Kamala Harris would lose the election.
Do you have a girlfriend? But you did.
Yeah.
Who broke up with who? You to her, her to you?
It was on her.
It was on her. That's one way of saying it. Yeah, we broke up. It was on her. How did she do it?
It was a text during election night.
A text during election night? Oh my god! Okay, I got a couple questions. Question number one, who did you vote for in that election? What was that?
I didn't vote.
You didn't vote, okay. Oh, you're right. Kamala lost by 1 vote. Oh no, if only he had done it. That was the problem. It was only 1. That's how close she was in Michigan. What state do you live in? Virginia.
Almost.
How did it go? Blue, okay. But did that have anything to do with her breaking up with you?
I said I didn't think Kamala was gonna win.
Oh,
She did it.
wait, this is the problem with Democrats, real quick. Let's just sidebar. You just said the facts. And she said we're breaking up.
Yeah, I'm a problem about patriarchy and whatever.
Yeah. And do you have these text messages on you right now? Can I see them? Can I read them? It's not gonna be funny, man. I've already it's like, please I get to the funny. Okay. So she said, oh my god, I had a fucking breakdown tonight. The results of this election is scary. Trump is winning a lot of states.
Yes.
We all agree. We're all here. Listen. If only my show was the one who voted, Jill Stein would have had a chance. Okay, so you said don't stress it. So you tried to calm it down. You know.
I know I went wrong, but...
Okay, then I'll read it. We'll see where you went wrong. Don't stress it. I don't believe policy changes much based on the face of the president.
No.
Okay, listen, guys, he's letting me read his text messages out loud. I promise you're sitting next to a Trump voter right now. They just know not to give their phone to a stand-up comedian. Honestly, I thought it was going to be a tighter race, but this is a sad blowout. Okay. Oh, and then you said, oh wait, she's catching up. What part of the night was this? Can you remind me? You were worried, yeah?
You know, the prediction definitely threw me off.
Yeah. Okay. So she said, okay, good. I'm listening to the news now. And then you sent 173 to 190. Those are the electoral counts?
Oh, that was the prediction, I guess.
The prediction. Okay, cool. Last time I checked, it was 75, 175. Yeah. Honestly, though, I do think Trump is still going to win. I can't imagine the general population of America would vote Kamala.
Oh, you didn't.
He is right, though. Oh my God, but he's right. He's right. Okay. Here we go. Again, I promise every beat of this, everyone's gonna go, oh, and then I just want you to remember the conclusion, okay? So you said, I do think Trump is gonna win. I can't imagine the general population of America would vote Kamala. Why not? Because she's a woman. Now this is where you should have consulted a friend. So why not? Because she's a woman, and you simply said, yep. And she said, wow. And then I'm sure your dots went up for a couple minutes. You said only less likely choice for America as a president than someone of an ethnic background is of the female gender. Honestly, dude, I'm really disappointed to hear you say that. Not saying it should be that way, good for you. I believe that's how most people look at it. Keep in mind we live in an area of the country that is very different in terms of diversity or progressiveness compared to the majority of the country.
Yes.
And she said that's not true. Obama was elected and he's black.
Oh.
What you said really f***ing pissed me off, and it was sexist, and it gives into the f***ed up patriarchy we live in. That made me realize our personalities are too different and this isn't going to work. It was fun going on dates, but I need to end this. Our personalities are too different. Goodbye. And then you just wrote back, bitch. He didn't write that. So just to be clear, in your defense, you gave honestly what the Democratic Party has been saying for the last 2 months, and she dumped you because of it. Honestly, if this turned you into a Trump voter, I wouldn't blame you. I think we all owe this man an apology. Thank you very much. Honestly, the real credit to you is that you did not text after Trump won. You could have. You could. In fact, when I put this video online, you could simply send the link.
psychologist. So, yeah, I probably struggle with psychology.
Listen, I just want to interrupt for just a sec to say if you are enjoying this video, I ask that you please hit that like button. If you enjoy my content, if you want to help the channel, please hit that like button for the YouTube algorithm. It helps pushes my video out there. I would really, really appreciate it. Also, subscribe to my second channel if you have not subscribed yet. Link is in the description. Now, one of the most frustrating things about this clip, I mean, outside of the fact that he was right and she broke up with him for being right, was how you can sense in this room that there were a lot of liberals and or undercover conservatives in this room just waiting for this guy to say the wrong thing so they can pounce on him, which is very frustrating. I just couldn't help but to think while I was watching the clip, I really wish I was there. Because you can tell he was a bit nervous to really fully say what he thought about the election. But listen, the truth of the matter is, Kamala Harris didn't win the election not because she's a black woman or because she's black or because she's a woman. It was because she was incompetent and everybody could see it. I mean, you had even a lot of Democrats, not all of them, but even some of them came out and said like this the best we got? Can we not do any better than this? Man, she was exposed. The thing about social media is it's very hard to escape it. Even if your algorithm supports your way of thinking, it was so obvious that Kamala Harris was not what the Democratic Party really wanted, that it was clips all over the place just exposing her. And this right here is one of my biggest problems with Democrats. Not even just the politicians, because they're hypocrites too, but just the casuals, the everyday people that identify as Democrats, right? Even though I know things are nuanced, almost consistently you see across the board when it comes to Democrats, they'll almost never actually tell you what Trump said or actually stands for, but instead they'll tell you what another progressive told them Trump said or what Trump stands for. Or they'll tell you what the media has said Trump stands for or what Trump has said, instead of doing their own research and thinking for themselves. Which almost adds credence to the saying, if you want to upset a conservative, tell them a lie. If you want to upset a Democrat, tell them the truth. And I don't really like to buy into general statements like that, but you almost see it to be the truth, man. You broke up with your boyfriend. And I feel like he was even pandering to her. For him to say, because she's a woman and because of the country and the patriarch. No, bro, that's not why she didn't win. She didn't win because majority of the country didn't agree with her. But this is the thing about being a Democrat. They're hypocrites, especially if you tell the truth. I literally know a person who was just fired in the past 2 months from their job for stating that there are only two genders, male and female, and for also stating that illegal immigrants are illegal and they have to come in the legal way. They were fired for saying that. Let me show you where the hypocrisy comes in. All of a sudden, Trump is the biggest bigot, he's a fascist, he's a racist, for saying literally common sense. Follow the law, come into the country the legal way. But Barack Obama, you know, the golden boy, the golden child, the Democrat savior, I think somebody needs to give him a wake-up call as well, because I want you to take a listen to what he said about illegal immigrants.
Even as we are a nation of immigrants, we're also a nation of laws. Undocumented workers broke our immigration laws, and I believe that they must be held accountable, especially those who may be dangerous. If you're a criminal, you'll be deported. If you plan to enter the U.S. illegally, your chances of getting caught and sent back just went up. The actions I'm taking are not only lawful, they're the kinds of actions taken by every single Republican president and every single Democratic president for the past half century.
It's not a good look. It's not a good look. And what would the average Democrat say if you were to show them that clip of Barack Obama? No, really, I want you to hop in the comment section and give me your thoughts. What would they say? They would be stumbling over the words and acting like, well, I mean, I guess he has a point. No, because now Trump has been saying the same thing. It's literally consistent with the law. But they don't care about that because a lot of Democrats are followers. It's this is the way I think about it. It's as if you're in a war, you're wearing all blue if you're a Democrat, and you're on the war field, you're on the battlefield, and across from you is a gang of conservatives. They're wearing all red, and you're getting ready to charge each other with your swords and your armor and all of that. The war is about to start in 5 minutes, and you all decide to spend this 5 minutes strategizing. And in the midst of strategizing, you're hearing them reminding everybody of what the belief system and what they stand for. And you just hear them saying, they're going down the list of all the things that you stand for, and then you just hear them say, and remember, men can be women, they should be able to go into men's bathrooms. Immigrants should be able to come over into this country illegally. It doesn't matter if they're criminals. They should be able to file for asylum. It doesn't matter. Because no human being is an illegal. How can a human being be an illegal person? And then you just sitting there listening to all this and you like, wait, what? And you looking around and you realize everybody like, yep. Because they're all followers. And you're standing there like, I don't believe that. That doesn't make any sense. Or how Doge is allegedly finding all the corruption, at USAID and Politico and all these other places. They're literally finding corruption. Places where we can't find where millions upon millions of dollars have went.
And also, could you mention some of the things that your team has found, some of the crazy numbers, including the woman that walked away with about 30 million?
Right. Well, we do find it sort of rather odd that there are quite a few people in the bureaucracy who have ostensibly a salary of a few $100,000, but somehow manage to accrue tens of millions of dollars in net worth while they are in that position, which is what happened at USAID. We're just curious as to where it came from.
Shut down. So Senator Warren, why are you so afraid of transparency? Why are you bothered by the fact that Elon Musk is attempting to expose all of this fraudulent spending? What is that about? What is the problem here? What is the problem with transparency? Do not touch me. Do not touch me. Senator Warren, I just want to answer a question. How did you get a $12 million net worth on a $200,000 salary in Congress? How did you do that?
Excuse me.
How did you do that? You can keep trying to block my camera. We're on a public sidewalk, so get off of me. So you don't want to answer that question. What is it about Doge that's such a problem to you? You just elbowed me, Senator. I got that on camera.
Excuse us. Thank you.
Transparency is your enemy.
Democrats are acting like cheating boyfriends right now. I'm sorry, but somebody's got to say it. I'm independent. I think there's good ideas on both sides. There's bad ideas on both sides. But what this Doge audit is reminding me of is like a girl taking her boyfriend's phone and like hiding in the bathroom. And the Democrats are just banging on the door. And they're like, you are invading my privacy. You can't go through my phone. And Elon Musk is like, yes, I can. I can see what you've been up to. And then every time Musk comes out of the bathroom, he's like, look, see what you did? They just turn it around and they're like, you invaded my privacy. This was your fault. You broke my trust.
Through USAID over the past several years, these are some of the insane priorities that organization has been spending money on. $1.5 million to advance DEI in Serbia's workplaces. $70,000 for a production of a DEI musical in Ireland, $47,000 for a transgender opera in Colombia, $32,000 for a transgender comic book in Peru. I don't know about you, but as an American taxpayer, I don't want my dollars going towards this crap, and I know the American people don't either.
Maybe they're very good at investing, in which case we should take their investment advice, perhaps. But there seems to be mysteriously they get wealthy. We don't know why. Where does it come from? And I think the reality is that they're getting wealthy at the taxpayer expense. That's the honest truth of it. So we're looking at, say, if you look at say Treasury, for example, basic controls that should be in place, that are in place in any company, such as making sure that any given payment has a payment categorization code, that there is a comment field that describes the payment, and that if a payment is on the do not pay list, that you don't actually pay it. None of those things are true currently. So the reason that departments can't pass audits is because the payments don't have a categorization code. It's like just a massive number of blank checks just flying out the building. So you can't reconcile blank checks. You've got comment fields that are also blank, so you don't know why the payment was made. And then we've got this truly absurd, a do not pay list, which can take up to a year for an organization to get on a do not pay list. And this, we're talking about terrorist organizations, we're talking about known fraudsters, known aspects of waste, known things that do not match any congressional appropriation. It can take up to a year to get on the list, and even once on the list is not used. It's mind-blowing. So what we're talking about here, we're really just talking about adding common sense controls that should be present that haven't been present. So you say, like, well, how could such a thing arise? That seems crazy. When you understand that really everything is geared towards complaint minimization, so then you understand the motivations. So if people receive money, they don't complain, obviously. But if people don't receive money, they do complain. And the fraudsters complain the loudest and the fastest. So then when you understand that, then it makes sense. Oh, that's why everything they approve all the payments at Treasury. Because if you approve all the payments, you don't get complaints. But now we're saying that, no, actually, we are going to complain. If money is spent badly, if your taxpayer dollars are not spent in a sensible and frugal manner, then that's not okay.
But all you hear the Democrats ranting about is how they're being unconstitutional, which, by the way, if Elon Musk and Donald Trump is being unconstitutional in the way in which they're going about this, I don't support it. However, it's very interesting to me that they can talk about this all day long, but they're not talking about the actual corruption that was found. Representative Jasmine Crockett, why aren't you talking about the corruption that was found? Do you see what I'm saying? Now, let me be clear. There's hypocrisy on both sides. Both sides are hypocrites. Democrats, Republicans, they both have things that they have cognitive dissonance about. Let's be clear. That's why I'm not a conservative or a Democrat, because I see how both sides are willing to ignore the things that each side is doing wrong. But the left has gotten so absurd, has gotten so ungodly, to the point where they're literally falling on things that the country don't agree with, that majority of the country don't agree with. 80% of the country feels one way. Here go Democrats. It's like they're just jumping to the other side just to be different. The gig is up. The gig is up. And I'm genuinely curious to see over this next 4 years how many Democrats are going to remain to be Democrats after this Trump administration's period is over. Because we're not even a month into his presidency, and all the corruption that's been exposed already is more corruption that's been exposed over the past 4 years by the Biden administration. Y'all up in the comment section, give me your thoughts. I'd love to know what you think. I'm Demetrius. I go by Didi. That's all for this one, man. Until next time. Peace. Oh, yeah. Didi got a podcast.